right, to all the Mavs fans watching out there, we can finally take a deep breath. Draft lottery just happened, and we're keeping the pick. Let's go. Mavericks are keeping the 10th pick in the draft. It's not going to New York. The tanking wasn't all for nothing. And boy, was I concerned because Jason Kidd almost messed it up for the entire team. Back a few weeks ago, towards the end of the regular season, when Jason Kidd blatantly admitted to the team tanking. Honestly, there's a lot of conspiracy theories revolving around the draft lottery and if it's rigged or not. And truth be told, I was a bit concerned that if any of that conspiracy was true, Mavericks pick would be out the window, But fortunately, that's not what happened, and Mavericks get to keep their pick at the 10th spot. Now, what should the Mavericks do with that pick? Let's talk about that. So looking at the draft board here, obviously Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, the Thompson brothers, they're out the window. That's not even an option unless the Mavs were to trade up, which they don't have anything to trade up with the exception of if you packaged the 10th pick with Kyrie Irving, which don't quote me on that. Don't. That's not happening. It would take a lot more than the 10th pick and Kyrie Irving. I would hope if you're San Antonio, you would not do something like that. I would feel for the fans of the San Antonio Spurs if they traded this pick for the 10th pick and Kyrie. That's not happening. That first pick, I don't see San Antonio trading that. It would not be worth trading the 10th pick in Kyrie for Scoot Henderson or for Brandon Miller. The way I see it, you got two options here. You use it on a guy like Grady Dick from University of Kansas. Wouldn't be a bad pickup. The other option would be to package Grady Dick with someone like the Davis Bertans contract. You could do a sign and trade with like Christian Wood or something like that and get something in return. That's how I see it. Those are like the two options with the draft pick. However, the draft pick, that's not even like a top focus right now for this offseason. First item on the agenda, you need to deal with the Kyrie Irving situation. Either you're going to keep him, sign him to a max contract, or you're looking to do a sign and trade and get a star player in return. There's no exception. You can't do what you did with Brunson last year and just let him walk for nothing. Priority number 2 is to get a defensive big. I don't care who it is at this point. I don't even know why y'all traded for Christian Wood if you weren't going to put him on the court in the first place. And if you favor a defensive big, maybe Christian Wood wasn't the guy to trade for. Looking at the list of available centers right now going into the offseason, you got guys on this list like Brook Lopez, Jakob Poeltl, Mason Plumlee, Andre Drummond. If it was up to me and you didn't have any competing bids, I think Jakob Poeltl's your guy. He seems to be the best option on this list for what the Mavs need for their roster. Brook Lopez wouldn't be a bad choice. It's just that he's already 35 years old. He's more of a guy that you're adding to a championship contender, and I'm not saying that the Mavericks couldn't contend for a championship next year, but let's be honest with ourselves. They just finished 38 wins and 44 losses on the season, so let's not get too excited here, okay? You gotta think more of a long-term solution, and Jakob Poeltl, who's 27, 28 years old, he is more of a long-term solution that you could sign to like a 4 or 5 year contract. And priority number 3, you need to get off the Bertans contract if you're the Dallas Mavericks. Unfortunately, he's very much overpaid. He'd be great if he was getting paid like $5 million or something, but unfortunately, he's getting paid upwards of $17 to $18 million per year. And for a guy that comes off the bench in trash time, that's not the guy you want on your roster if you're trying to win games. Unfortunately, again, sorry, but he's not going to be a contributor like he was for the Washington Wizards, 5 years ago. That being said, I'm feeling good. The Mavericks at least got to keep their pick, and the tanking wasn't all for nothing. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all think and what you think the Mavs should be doing this offseason with the pick, with Kyrie, with Christian Wood. There's a lot of unknowns, and can't wait for the Woj bombs this summer.